Anne Sullivan was born on April 14, 1866, in Massachusetts, USA, into a life marked by poverty and struggle. Her parents were Irish immigrants, and her early years were filled with hardship. At a young age, Anne suffered from a serious eye condition that left her with impaired vision. After her mother passed away and her father abandoned the family, she and her brother were sent to a poorhouse, a harsh environment where living conditions were extremely difficult. Life there was bleak, but Anne refused to give up. She had a strong will and a determination to change her future.
Anne's life took a turning point when she was given the opportunity to attend the Perkins School for the Blind in Boston. Despite her limited vision and lack of formal education, she worked tirelessly to catch up with other students. She faced challenges in reading, writing, and communication, but her persistence set her apart. Over time, she not only improved her own abilities but became one of the top students in the school, and graduated as valedictorian of her class. For someone who had once lived in a poor house, it was a remarkable achievement.
Shortly after graduating, Anne Sullivan was offered a challenging opportunity to teach a young girl named Helen Keller. Helen Keller had lost both her sight and hearing at a very young age, leaving her unable to communicate effectively. By the time Anne arrived in 1887, Helen was frustrated, isolated, and difficult to manage. Many believed that teaching her would be nearly impossible. But Anne Sullivan saw potential where others saw limits.
And began working with Helen using a method of spelling words into her hand, trying to connect objects with language. At first, Helen did not understand that the signs had meaning. Days passed with little progress. Then came the breakthrough. At a water pump outside the house, Anne placed Helen's hand under the flowing water and spelled the word water into her palm repeatedly. Suddenly, something changed. Helen realized that the signs represented words, that everything had a name. It was a moment that transformed her understanding of the world.
After that breakthrough, Helen Keller began learning rapidly, and taught her not only language but also how to read, write, and understand complex ideas. Their relationship went beyond that of teacher and student, and became a guide, a mentor, and a constant support throughout Helen's life. She helped Helen attend school, graduate from college, and eventually become a writer and speaker. Behind Helen Keller's achievements stood Anne Sullivan's dedication and belief.
Anne Sullivan devoted her life to teaching and supporting Helen. Even as her own eyesight continued to decline, she remained committed to helping Helen communicate and succeed. Her teaching methods were innovative, patient, and deeply personal. She adapted constantly, finding new ways to connect with her student. Her work demonstrated that education is not just about knowledge, it is about understanding the individual and unlocking their potential.
Though Helen Keller became widely known around the world, Anne Sullivan often remained in the background. Yet her influence was essential. Without her persistence, creativity, and belief, Helen's story might have been very different, and showed that sometimes the greatest impact comes not from being seen, but from helping others shine.
Anne Sullivan continued working with Helen Keller for decades. As her health declined, she remained close to her student and companion. She passed away on October 20, 1936, leaving behind a legacy defined by education, compassion, and determination.
Anne Sullivan's life is a story of overcoming hardship and transforming it into purpose. From a childhood of poverty and illness, she became one of the most influential educators in history. Her work proved that with patience, belief, and creativity, barriers can be broken.
Anne Sullivan did not just teach words. She opened a world. Through her guidance, a child once trapped in silence and darkness found a voice, and that voice would inspire millions. Her story reminds us that true teaching is not just about instruction, but about belief in what others can become.